Hello and welcome back to Factorio. Now, in the last episode I was talking a lot and doing an awful small amount, but well, it is what it is. We did a bit of automation. We did the pump jacks, which we will need. There's no doubt about that. And we did a bit of labs and a bunch of landfill. Now we are going to, I think, as I was saying in like the end of the last episode, I talked about filling in a bit more here and trying to use this space to put the labs, and I think I will. And yes, I am just putting landfill on the fishes, and yes, they will get destroyed when you do that. So if you need the fish, make sure you pick it up, because once you put landfill over, they will just disappear. Let's pick up a tiny amount of landfill. Really not much, but yeah. We are going to need a bunch more landfill, like a ton more landfill probably. Especially when it comes to doing the outpost with the coal, 9.3 million coal outpost. That is going to require quite a lot of landfill, I believe. I anticipated requiring a lot of it, so but we'll see once we get there. We don't need to expand the coal just yet, or the iron for that matter. We don't need to do it just yet, so we are going to see if we can get away with not doing it just yet. Now, I think this is good enough, I believe. Maybe I should do it a bit more, maybe up to like here, like up there. Probably should, though that's going to suck up the last on my landfill. Yeah, we have 56 landfill left. Not a lot. Not a lot. Let's reduce the size of it. So we have... I like the 2x2. It is a very good size. To be honest, it doesn't feel to be too big or too small. But that's just the way how I think. It's easier to use the 2x2 or the 1 to like precision fill. Now, if you make sure to like fill in, if you're gonna do a mass fill, doing the larger sizes might be good, but I usually do the other ones. Let's see here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, let's take a look. We have... No, we can't look there, right? Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, each and every belt can hold 2 different things. So 2, 4, 6. we're gonna have to use something like this, and then we're gonna have to have this last bit on the outermost layer, like this. Which way it is coming from, I have no idea. It might come from this side, like this. So it goes from the left to the right, but might come from the left and go to the... come from the right and go to the left. I don't know. However, the 6 normal ones is going to come from the right and go into the left, because even if well, probably maybe I should do it the other way around. Yeah, let's do it the other way around. There we go. And we are going to need a bit of belt braiding, basically, because we are going to need to do this. It's going to have to look like this to get all the resources. And that's the thing, we have to do this to get all the resources in place. It's the only way to do it, really. Like, to get all of the science packs, we have to place every single we have to place every single inserter logically. Like, we have to think about where we place them and how, because inserters have a very large restriction on how they can insert. It doesn't matter if it's a large long-handed inserter or a fast inserter or a normal inserter. They have to go from, if we use, let's see here, from the side where the wall is to where the belt is. You can't put something 90 degree, like you can't do 90 degrees turn with an inserter. You can't have an inserter move something from like this. Like, you can't do this. Like, you can't take something from where the wall is to where the belt is. That's not possible. It is only 180 degrees. So it's only from one side and then 180 degrees to the other side, and then back again, and then back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's the only way that an inserter in vanilla Factorio can move stuff. And the reason why I said vanilla is because there are mods that change how the inserters can insert. Now, I'm not going to go into detail because that's not... That's quite out of scope for this video, so I'm not going to do that. But there are mods that change basically how that works. Now I see I have placed these a bit incorrectly. This needs to get moved. Thankfully, I don't need to make any more landfill because it will fit anyway. Now, I need to do this because, let's see, I was just going to check something. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's max distance. No, wrong way. I'll have to pick up. We don't have enough long-handed inserters. Yeah, but with this design, we can put every single science pack on belts and move them into whatever, like, place we might need them to be. Let's see, have I actually mirrored this properly? No, I have not. The only reason why I'm mirroring it is because it will make it a bit easier later on to, like, continue the pattern. That's the only reason, really. You don't have to mirror it if you don't want to. This and this, there we go. Sorry about my yawn, but I wasn't really ready for it myself, so. But anyway, yeah, this is how it's going to look. It might not make any sense whatsoever at this point, but that's fine. It doesn't have to. What's happening really is that this first one is going to take from the belt on this belt here, and this one that's on the other side will take on the other belt that's on the up, like it will take on the opposite side and put it down, and then so everything we put down, going to make an example here like this. If we put a bunch of different stuff on the belt at this point, let's use the stuff we have in our inventory as an example. Let's take a coal and let's do a fish just for funsies. So what's going to happen is that everything that's on the first belt, on the lowest belt here, that's going to be picked up by the yellow inserters, and now that whatever it's going into where the yellow inserters are picking up, which is the underground belt ones, we need to make sure is this on the top here as well. So we are going to need to do I'm going to redo that. just to make sure. There we go. So it's going to have to look like this when it goes into their places. So whatever is on where the yellow inserters are need to go into, it's going to be have to be a duplicate on the other side. So we are going to have to use a splitter and split this like this basically, but a bit more elegant so it doesn't messes up all the other stuff. But anyway, that's basically what we're gonna have to do. And then in the middle we are going to have the other stuff. So if we count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different, which means on the outer we are going to have the last one, number 7. But this way, since the, as I said, since the yellow normal inserters are going to pick up what's in the underground belt, and we have that on both sides, we need that to be the same. And since the long-handed inserters is going to pick up on the one closest to the belts, is going to pick up, if we take a look at the upper one here, that's going to pick up copper and steel when it comes rolling down. But when we actually use this, it's going to be science packed. But for the sake of demonstrating, it's going to be copper and steel they pick up from that one, and the one that's closest to the lab of the long-handed inserters one up here, that's behind the medium electric power pole. And yes, it will function even if the power pole seems to be in the way, so no worries there. And it will pick up the armor and iron plate to put in. And that way and it functions the same way when it comes to the bottom, but it's mirrored, so but essentially every single lab is going to get every science pack that we are putting on the belts. Now, let's take a look at science. Right, we are doing basically nothing. I'm going to shut down this. I'm going to actually stop the science. I'm going to let it finish, but I'm going to tear this apart at this point, and we are going to stop this production at this point. We are going to move this finally. Now this bit of no, we are going to remove basically everything here. We are going to redo this stuff. We are going to have to do this, but we are going to do it somewhere else. There we go. And you seem to be finished, so let's remove you. Which I was about to say. Having 3 languages makes pronouncing stuff quite hard because, yes, R's and L's are so freaking close to each other that, depending on the language, pronouncing them properly can be, well, difficult. It's a very, very, very small difference between an R and an L, especially in my my native tongue and my third language. English not so much, but my other languages is, well, I should probably say that in the Japanese language there is no L. The L sound doesn't exist. It's just an R that's very, like, in some areas of Japan they pronounce to be more precise, as I said, they pronounce the L. It may sound like an L, but it's really an R. And that's like a pronunciation thing that in some words, despite it being an R, in some regions it sounds more like L, but it's not L because L doesn't really exist in the Japanese language. And then you have my own language, which we have both the letters and pronunciations. Yeah, if you do a bit of like pronunciation test on them, you quickly find out that they sound very, very same. Like, there's not a lot of difference between L and R. Now, let's see, we're going to move this. We have the 8 last labs we need, so we're going to place 4 more on each side. I have made, right now we have 20 labs. Now, if we want to make more, we can easily expand this. Now, whether I want or need to expand this, I'm not sure. I need more long-handed inserters. And we have, what is it, 6 minutes left in this episode. So let's try to build this. Get done with this. There we go. We did make more of these, so let's push, let's make them. we should do that. And let's go and fill in here. Yeah, let's do that. There we go. Should we do them? I'm going to just quickly remove them to see if we can place them a bit more optimal. could do like this. Like this. We could. Yeah, let's do this. It's fine. And we should probably extend this just so we know that there's going to be a last one on the on the outside. And let's pick this one up. We have a bunch of copper on ourselves, and we should probably like tear all this shit down and redo it. Yeah, we should do that. We should make a bus, basically. We do need to have one. It's not like if we... the thing is, technically we don't need it, but if we want to make stuff in like a timely fashion when we start getting to building the rocket parts, we do need something better. And it's not like we're not going to get spaghetti, it's just different spaghetti. So I think I can justify building a bus, as long as I don't try to make it pretty, basically. So what I am going to do, I do have this. This is a balancer blueprint that a bunch of really intelligent people that absolutely love Factorio has put together, and I've put a lot of time to make something that actually balances stuff properly. And there are from 1 to 8 kind of balancers. And we might use some of these when it comes to the train stations, when it comes to loading and unloading the trains. Because you do need to balance stuff from time to time, otherwise it won't work very well if you don't do a balancing once in a while. But we are going to do... did this incorrectly. There we go. No, I think we should... It's like this, if I remember correctly. Yes, it is. Now, this is a 4x4 balancer. It's a very, very basic one. Like this. This makes sure that if you input, if we get... You can have one belt of stuff and split it evenly to become 4 with this. This is a very, very good way of getting an even split of resources. Even if you don't have a lot of like input into the bus system. You can still do the bus quite happily without any major problem. Going to keep the belt running at least to here. Then we have a bunch of trees we have to murder. Now, since I will end the episode, but before that, I will say, since we have this perimeter where we have a bunch of turrets and we have ammo feeding the turrets, I feel a lot more comfortable getting rid of all the trees at this point. Getting rid of the trees at this point is going to be beneficial because they are in the way, to put it nicely. And that means we need to produce grenades. Grenades, if we take a look, it needs coal and iron plates. So let's put up very quickly before we end this episode. Let's make it in one of these. And we are going to split this not very efficiently by splitting, but let's do it anyway. And we are going to have to put a long-handed inserter. Let's use one of these, and then output. We don't have... Oh, I have one of like that, so that's fine. And then like this. And we should probably limit this as well. Now, I'm going to quickly just take a look at... Okay, we have used 25k of coal. We might have to make sure to get more coal at some point. But anyway, we are producing grenades, so we are going to bomb a lot of forests. But with that happy note, we are going to end this. So thanks for watching, goodbye, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.